What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another edition of the Coach's Corner here on VYPE Media. Joshua Cook, along with Dennis Silva II, and Sean McDowell and James Williams, our esteemed panel, two of the best dudes in the city of Houston that do it each week. Coaches, welcome back to another week. We are in the final week of the Texas High School Football Players State Championships. Everyone is fired up. AT&T Stadium is the place to be. I mean, we know we do it big in Texas, right? But there is nothing in the country that matches state football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Am I wrong on this assumption?
No, it's unrivaled. It's it'll be broadcasted all over Twitter, Snapchat. I mean, it'll be memes made. I mean, gifts, everything. Like, I watched the Nevada State Championships, and there's probably like 100 people in the stand. You know what I'm saying? We've got like 2,000 just on the sidelines of those games, you know. And James, I've never been there, so I don't know. I'm just looking at. I'm one of those guys watching it. So, I mean, we set the tone for the year for the whole country. You know, Texas high school football is a religion. You know, let's be honest with you, it is, and it's a lifestyle. It's what we do, by God. You know, so.
Yeah, it's something pretty special. I mean, I being fortunate to have played in the state championship game, actually 3 times. But twice here at Marshall. The last time we played, I mean, it's, you so into the game. I'm not one of the ones that look around into the stands, look around and see who's out there. But for whatever reason, at the end of our game last time, I mean, it was 40,000 people in that stands. It was amazing. You know, it helped that North Shore and Duncanville was coming after us, but there was a lot of people in that place, playing in front of 40,000 people, and just so great for our community and our kids, and just have the opportunity to play in that stadium is truly a high point in anybody's career. And so I get you that motivation to want to work that hard to get back there. And I made a promise to myself, I'm not going to watch another state championship game, so I go and play in another one. So hopefully that comes sometime soon. But, it's just a special moment.
And we talk about, a special week of Texas high school football coming up. And I'd be remiss if I didn't take this time. Last Friday, the Texas high school football community and journalism community lost a legend in Dave Campbell, who created Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine. We all get it each year. We all pick it up. The job that he did to cover the state of Texas, I mean, we all strive to be like Dave Campbell as a journalist, as a person. And I mean, the reaction from coaches, the journalism world, the Texas high school football community was unrivaled on Friday night when the news of him passing came. And I'll give coaches the time right now just to talk about him, his legend, and just his, what he meant to Texas high school football and the coaches.
Well, I'll tell you from my perspective, Dave Campbell, Texas Football Magazine, right? I mean, since I can remember when I was in high school, middle school, you look forward to getting that publication every year, and I would read it cover to cover. And I remember the first time I saw my name in it, and coaches, they obviously, my mom must have been on the Booster Club or something. So, so, I mean, how awesome is that? I mean, to cover everything, like we just talked about, like Texas high school, football being like the model for the country. Like everybody else is jealous of what we do and how big. They don't understand it. And I think he was one of the pioneers that helped create that lore of Texas high school football, right? The publications that he had, and then just his role. Think about he was a trendsetter, and a pioneer in our journalism business. I think a lot of it, what we do today, the radio shows. I mean, even doing this thing that we're actually sitting here talking about Texas high school football in the middle of the day. I mean, it says a lot to what he did for the sport and for journalism. He made it credible to report on a high school sport, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, and the other sports have a lot to thank him for that too. Nobody's really knowing. I don't know if anybody's worried about what varsity soccer looks like sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, the scores. But now people are like, I know where to go to get it, or I can go. So. I mean, what a man. I mean, and the challenge he had to overcome just to get here. I mean, hats off to him, and I appreciate everything he did for Texas high school football and journalism.
Yeah, I can definitely second that. I remember times I was able to speak with him, and at coaching school a few times, and just a great person who absolutely loved Texas high school football. Loved what he did, made a huge impact, Hall of Famer in our state. And you know, he is Texas football when it comes to journalism and the media. And like Sean said, there's so many guys right now who are doing what they're doing because of what he started many, many years ago. And even on social media, you know, it's so much to credit Dave Campbell for the amazing coverage of high school football, high school sports that he's done. That's just tremendous. It's definitely a sad day for Texas and high school sports. But, you know, he's a great man. And like I said, I do have, you know, I'm privileged and fortunate to have had the opportunity to talk with him on a few occasions and laugh with him. Very, very good person.
Yeah, Dave Campbell for sure. He's a big reason why we do what we do. I mean, they set the standard of covering high school sports and high school football, and he will be missed. And from the entire VYPE media team, our condolences to the Dave Campbell Texas football family, everyone that works at Dave Campbell's, and as they go into the state championship week, maybe with a little bit of a heavy heart, but ready to cover it just like Dave would at AT&T Stadium. So just wanted to take that moment to honor a legend in Dave Campbell. I mean, I tell you right now, there's a stack of Dave Campbell's magazines up on my shelf right here. I think it's 6 or 7 of them right behind me. So legend of the sport, and a lot of coaches, and I'm sure at AT&T Stadium they will honor him in the right way this week with the state championships coming up. All right, so switching gears a little bit, Dennis Silva the second. We got some state football. What you got over there, Dennis? What you got?
Well, I want to ask this from you guys as far as how taxing is it for players and coaches at this point of the season? Do you feel like? I feel like that's something that maybe goes overlooked a little bit when people talk about getting to this point of the season, playing this far into December, and you know, the mental grind and the physical grind of going through this week for week for 17 weeks. That's not even including, you know, scrimmages and fall camp before that and 7-on-7. How exhausting is it at this point from coaches and senior players when you get to this point of the season?
It's definitely exhausting. I'll say it may be more exhausting on the mental end than the physical. It's a long, like I said, long season. You know, starting in early August. But there's so much reward though for it. You know, that really takes the place of that. You know, I mentioned last week that I truly believe a lot of teams that don't make it to their goal or don't make it far enough in their season and to make it to the state, is a lot of them get tired of playing. You know, it's so mentally taxing and physically taxing that, you know, some people get content on where they've made it because they're not used to going further. I mean, you really have to make it this far and further, make it to state, you have to want it. It's a true definition of want it, pay the price to get where you want to get and to get to your goals. And again, that reward of going through each week in the playoffs. I mean, playoffs are long. You know, this might be the longest playoff, 6 games, you know, in any state in the country. But you know, but every time you get that win, and you know, you get that feeling and that appreciation for the efforts you put into it and the accomplishments you're doing week by week. And like I said, you know, and week by week, fewer teams are playing. You making your way across that bracket and getting to that goal. It's just so rewarding. And to play in the stadiums, and because once you get to round 4 or so, you're getting out of your region. You know, you're getting out of you're out of your city, out of Houston area. And, I mean, you could be playing in Alamo Dome. You could be playing near Dallas. I mean, who knows where you can be playing. And that's the fun of it, you know, going to stadiums that you've never been to, those long road trips, you know, bus rides, and get out of school early, and then also the pep rallies in the school, the send-offs they give you. I mean, it's a lot of positive, a lot of great things, a lot of great experiences for it. But it's definitely you earn the state championship in this state. Nothing is given. You earn it to play this long and to play against a great team. I mean, there's some great athletes and great teams and great coaches that you're going to go through to make to a state championship or make it this far. And so it is a huge accomplishment.
You know, NFL regular season is like 17 games, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. I mean, we're at 16 now.
Yeah.
Think about that. So, I mean, it's mentally, physically taxing.
Yes.
But at this point of the season, man, it is all worth it. It's super fun, right? So they might be gassed. I'm talking about tired. But you know what? They can rest all next week because it's over after Friday or Saturday, right? I mean, you're at that point. I mean, that's how close you are. So, like, it's all fun and all worth it right now. I mean, so I know those guys, they're tired and they want to sleep and they want to grind. But I'll tell you, it's a different level of practice and what they're about to do. So yeah, I know they're tired, but you can be tired next week. You can sleep next week. Let's go. So I'm excited for them.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Do you guys have a favorite state championship game that you haven't been a part of that maybe you watched or, anything like that?
Man, I like watching them all. I think the first thing that comes to mind, like, remember that North Shore, not North Shore, but the Highland Park Manville game a few years ago? Yes. That was crazy.
Yes.
Right. Obviously, the North Shore Duncanville Hail Mary, I like that. I like watching the 1As, you know what I'm saying? When they cut the field down, they get after it and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I love that stuff. You never get to watch that. I remember watching the Marshall Buffaloes, how like, man, I need to slim down after watching James Williams on the sideline. Actually one of my favorite games I watched, I got to remember the teams and names escape me, but like the kid had to, if he kicks a field goal or an extra point, if he kicks an extra point, they win it. Right.
It sounds familiar.
But the kid jumps off sides, they back up and they miss the extra point and they lose the state championship. I think that was last year, maybe. I mean, that stuff comes to mind. You're like, dang it. But I mean, I look forward to this weekend. Obviously, I'd love to be playing in it, but man, I start watching it Thursday night all the way. I'm pretty much a bum from Thursday to Saturday, right? Just straight football all the time, which is pretty normal for me anyway. But I mean, but I'm really, at least I'm a bum watching high school football, not just college all the time now. So looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. I tell you what, I mean, the two games, Sean named, I mean, that North Shore, Duncanville, I mean, imagine winning the state championship on the last play of the game on the Hail Mary. That's got to go down as one of the greatest of all time. Then also Manville, all the years they were fighting, all the years they were close. They played, I think, 3 state championships, and then to get there and get 1 yard away from on the last play of the game, 1 yard away from scoring. I mean, those are just two tremendous games. When I think about state champ, those are the first ones that come to my mind. That just on both sides. That's just such an emotional rush, such an emotional play, and that Duncanville, they got the game won. You got one more play, you can start celebrating. Something you got to remember for the rest of your life, and just like that, it's taken away from you. That's one of those as a coach you never get over. You never get over that one. Coach Sample is probably gonna be talking about that as a senior forever. Because it's that heartbreaking. I think about the times. We were fortunate to play the state championship, and the first time, we just got beat. We got beat pretty good that one. But the second time, that's one of the ones that'll haunt me. I really thought we had an opportunity to win and to beat Aledo in 2018 and 2019, and came down right to the end, and we ended up losing by 3 points. And man, you look back, man, take a couple plays away, a couple plays we might have messed up on defense. We had a big fourth down on their possession on the 15-yard line, something like that, and we had a guy make an MA, went the wrong way, everybody went the right way, and that just like that, we didn't score when we should have scored. But it's just such a great time, and to be able to play in Arlington in that big beautiful stadium is just nothing like it. That big screen looking up in the middle is just nothing like it. So it's a high point for a lot of coaches, whether you're playing it or not. It's an honor to play Texas high school football, and it's an honor to be there for the state championship.
Coach Williams, North Shore's obviously been to state before. College Station's been to state before. Peyto in its first time. What can they expect when it's their first time with the travel to AT&T Stadium and the state championship game and the hoopla? And what, if you could talk to Coach Gott, what would you advise them on how to handle this week and the preparations leading up to the state final?
It's a lot. And I remember it, and I've never complained. I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah.
But I remember from an administrative point of view, there's so much work to do. I remember on Sunday getting a big packet emailed to me. We had to fill out these forms, do this, do travel, do hotel. I mean, it was a lot of. I remember probably Sunday through Tuesday, I was exhausted because it was just so much to do. And then, like Sean, it's just a mental push, and you got to get your team ready. You got to get ready. You got to have great practice. You get great meetings, the same routine that you've been on in before, but understanding that the routine is going to be some different now, and Peto's got to get down there and get the factor out of it.
Yeah.
I don't remember if they're playing on Friday or Saturday.
Friday at 7.
Friday. Yes. Okay. So they got to get like we did. We went down on Thursday and actually attended a Thursday night game, state championship game, to get the guys in the stadium, to get that all factor out, to walk around the stadium, to get closer to the field, to look around, to get that, out of your system. So then when you get there the next night to play, you're ready to play. You're in the moment. Before it'd be the second quarter before you shake it off, that that extra adrenaline flowing right there. But also one thing I remember is the rush too. When we got there, the first time in 18, we played on Friday night as well at 7:00. The game before us had gone long and everything was a rush. By the time we got on the field, our pregame, everything was off schedule because it was just a rush to get it done. And they ended up backing our game up 15 minutes, but it was completely off of routine because you just never know. You're dealing with live TV, you're dealing with a different environment, and you're driving the bus down inside the stadium on the bottom. That was a interesting right there as well. But it's just don't let all of that overwhelm you. Don't focus on all the extra stuff. Just keep the main thing, and that's executing the game plan and playing a physical football game and doing what you normally do. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of distraction, a lot of things going on around you, but you got to keep the team centered and focused on playing football like they always do.
Damn, I was taking notes the whole time. I can't wait. That was. I said, hopefully one day I'll get my opportunity. Holy moly, that was awesome.
Sooner than later.
Absolutely.
Well, the state championships are coming up this week at AT&T Stadium, and we have some business to settle with the pick'ems as we go here. So I blew myself up again. That's what I do with my pick'ems. I don't even remember what I picked last week. Well, my record's 16-9. I'm all the way back. I'm in last place, so that's what we dealt with that. Dennis Silva goes 4-1 last week. He's 18-7 on the year, and sitting atop the standings heading into the final week of the season. It is Coach James Williams and Coach Sean McDowell tied at 19-6. Both go 4-1 last week. So we come down to the state championship games.
Man,
can Coach McDowell defend his regular season title, or is Coach Williams going to jump in here and take it? That's the question that America wants to know. So I'm going to do 5 state championship games, then there will be a 6th game as a tiebreaker. And that's going to be a fun one. We'll start at the top. We'll get the big boys out of the way first. The first one to go, Austin Westlake. Todd Dodge, in his final game as a head coach of those Westlake Chaps, takes on Denton Geyer and Rodney Webb, who's trying to win his first title and Denton Geyer's 3rd state title. Who wins between Westlake and Denton Geyer?
I'll tell you what, if that's okay, I'll take that one first, Sean. And I'll tell you this, the game Austin Westlake played last week against Katy was impressive, absolutely impressive. That's, you talk about dominant team. I think they might be ranked the number 2 team in the country right now. They deserve all of that. They're spectacular. I think I definitely take Westlake with that one. It'll take a lot to beat that football team. And I have not seen Denton Geyer play so far this year, but I don't see anybody beating Westlake. They're rolling on all cylinders. And as good as their offense is, their defense is equally as good. They're big up front, physical, very sound in what they're doing, and very fundamentally sound. I'm definitely taking Westlake with this.
Yeah, me too. Sorry, James. I'm gonna have to agree with you on this one. We'll deviate from it a little bit, but I have to pick Westlake. I mean, they've been rolling all season. They're what is it? Be number 3 in a row right here if they win this one or something like that. So, man, it's hard to go against those guys that have been there, done that before. I think they're gonna have, like saying, a lot of motivation. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with Westlake as well.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Westlake too. And I don't think it will be particularly close. Just the way they handled Katy last week was just so impressive, how from start to finish, physically and schematically and talent-wise. I mean, I don't see a weakness on that roster. And just the way they're coached, obviously, they have an edge in the coaching box. I hope it's going to be a close game. I hope it'll be fun. But I just think Westlake's just too much. That offense is unreal.
Todd Dodge and this Westlake team, they've won 39 straight games, and they are going for a third straight state championship. Den Geyer, they met Westlake a couple years ago, and granted, there was an injury in that game, and they had to throw a freshman quarterback in there. That was the whole thing. Den Geyer is good. They have a fast offense.
Yeah.
Jackson Arnold is legit. Their defense is quick to the ball. But this Westlake team is not going to let Todd Dodge lose his last game as the head coach. Austin Westlake wins their 40th straight game and third straight state championship to send Todd Dodge off into retirement that way. I think it'll be a semi-close game. I'd say 14. I'm gonna say Westlake by 14. I think that's what they win by.
Okay.
The next one, we get volume 3. Galena Park North Shore takes on Big Bad Duncanville. Houston versus DFW. Can North Shore win its third state championship in 4 years and do it 3 times against Duncanville?
Ooh, I get this one first. I'm fixing to be real disloyal right now. And I'm gonna go ahead and apologize.
Oh, let me text John K right now.
Yeah. All right, hey John, I'm sorry, man. I can't do it, man. All right, you good? All right, bro. We're good. All right, so I'm going with Duncanville, man. To be honest with you, I love what North Shore is doing. I think they're great. But in my heart, I feel like Duncanville is going to take it. I feel like it's been their year, man. They've been dominating across the board. I think they're going to be even extra motivated this time. I thought North Shore was obviously better a few years ago, and they beat them again. But, man, I think Duncanville is just rolling. Not saying they're taking anything from North Shore. It's been a heck of a run, heck of a season. But, man, I'm going with Duncanville.
You know what? I'm going to agree with that, Sean. I'm going to agree with that. And honestly, very similar to last week. The way Duncanville played and won the last couple games, it's just very impressive, very dominant. It wasn't even close. I thought South Lake Carroll would give them a more of a fight, but remember last year, same situation. My state semifinal, South Lake Carroll won. But no, Duncanville is determined. They're so doggone athletic. They're so big, and I think they, John and Kay and North Shore obviously did a great job. And this is their 4th state championship in 5 years, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 and 4 years for sure. I mean, they're just such a great, outstanding program. But I think it'll be hard to slow Duncanville down this year. That those guys are rolling pretty good.
Man, so North Shore made me look silly last week by saying Lake Travis is going to beat them. I'm going to go with North Shore. I think it's going to be a crazy game. Duncanville is obviously impressive, but North Shore just has this thing this season. It kind of has like, I don't want to say the it factor. That's a little extreme, but like it has something about it, the way it's playing, where freshmen at quarterback, offense had issues and questions, and they just keep getting better and better each week. That defense is incredible. That defense has been its rock all season, but I feel like that offense has made incredible strides from where we thought they were before to where we thought they're going to be. I'm going to go North Shore just because I'm not going to bet against the John K team twice, but I think it's going to be a great game. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be I mean how that one is the 3 p.m. one, not the nightcap is scheduling, but like that's going to be the matinee. That's the greatest show right there.
Yeah, there's gonna be huge crowds on Saturday. I think the record right now is like 40, maybe 49,000. I think for a Texas high school football game right now, it's in the 40s somewhere. Man, this is hard because I can't remember. I might have picked against North Shore last week. I can't remember what I did. I got to I've slept since then. This is a really good Duncanville team. I mean, everybody they've played, they've smacked around. North Shore has gotten better and better. Caleb Bailey is getting more and more confident as a quarterback. But Caleb Bailey hasn't walked into AT&T Stadium and played in front of, 20,000 Duncanville fans going. Now, North Shore is going to bring a crowd. Don't get me wrong. East Side's going to travel for that game. Oh, man. I don't know. This is tough.
Here comes the stall. This is like,
Right.
you can't use Coach Williams' tactic here.
Just keep talking till it comes to you.
Yeah,
Keep talking.
It's just, it's like, golly, it's like they've done so much. I mean, the fact that North Shore is here, I think I probably wouldn't have expected them to get here because the offense was so young and they've just gotten better and better. And the job Willie Gaston has done to just use the run game and just the ability to run the ball as well as they have in the offensive line. Defense has played well. I mean, defense made Lake Travis look silly. And you know Duncanville's going to be up for this game. They're not going to lose to them a third time. They don't want to lose to them a third time in 4 years. You know what? H-Town Pride. I'm going North Shore. North Shore wins their third state championship in 4 years.
2-2.
I think they're going to get up. I think Caleb Bailey is going to play. Caleb Bailey's a special talent. I mean, this is a kid that people need to go watch.
Yeah.
I think their defense is really good. They've gotten better and better. And this is a very, John Kay, and I think my selling point is John Kay said it after last week's game. He said this team is getting more and more mature. They're learning how to practice better. They're playing better football. And that's what they're peaking at the right time. I think they're putting it all together at the right time. And I think they win title number 3 in 4 years. All right. Next one, maybe story of the year. Liberty Hill takes on Dallas South Oak Cliff. Can Sock win the first title for Dallas ISD in like 63 years?
I think that's I think it's gonna be another great game. I'll be honest, I did not expect last week's game to go with Liberty and Crosby. And the biggest thing that shocked me was Liberty's defense. I did not expect them to hold Crosby at 14 points. I mean, that was very impressive. You figure, we talked last week, you figure it's gonna be a shutout like it was last year, and they played some really good defense. I mean, that offense that they're doing, that hurry up, I even know it's not a no huddle, but it's a hurry up to the line, snap the ball in 0.1 seconds and false start every other play, but they don't call it. But I mean, I think it's gonna be a great game. That offense is one of those athletic ability neutralizers. Because it doesn't matter how fast you run on defense, doesn't matter all that stuff. They got guys going everywhere. This is the way it is coming at you. I'm actually going to pick Liberty Hill in this one. I'm going to pick Liberty Hill just because, again, I've watched that offense for 2 years now since they're 5A Division II, and it's not very many teams have slowed it down. They're very impressive. And again, you take an athletic team like Crosby was on defense, and they had those playmakers all over the place, and they could not stop it. They could not stop it for 2 years in a row. They could not stop that offense. So, I'm going to go with Liberty Hill.
Man, I'm going to go for South Oak Cliff, baby. Sock. I'm going for Dallas South Oak Cliff, only because James picked Liberty Hill. And so, and them dudes, they got some cats, man. The speed. I'm thinking speed, and I'm thinking athleticism. Not saying that Liberty Hill can't run with them and stuff, and I think Crosby's super athletic. But, man, I think them bad boys have been on a mission. And I'm really thinking it's going to be an exciting game. And the more I talk about it, the more I'm really convinced that I don't think that Liberty Hill is going to have the speed to run with South Oak Cliff. So I'm going to go with South Oak Cliff. Dallas, baby, D-Town.
Did you see them play Crosby last week, Sean?
I did not see that at all. So I'm just going based on what I think might happen. And make it sound real good, man. So
when you get a chance, pull it up. Watch that. It's interesting what they're doing over there.
Really?
It's very interesting.
I'm going to take Coach McDowell's method and just go off what I think. I'm going to go for the best story, and the best story to me out of this game is the South Oak Cliff and what they've been able to do, and just so great for that community and those kids and those coaches over there. I really want to pull for them. Not anything against Liberty Hill, but for the story and just for those community, that's a cool story. That's what Texas high school football is all about, to be given this opportunity and to make the most when you get to the stage. So I'm going to go South Oak Cliff. I'm pulling for them.
I'm not going to stall on this one. South Oak Cliff wins state championship. They are going to have a crowd. They're going to be rowdy. They knocked off the Kings this year. They knocked off Alito. They are rolling. Liberty Hill, great story to get, after last year losing on that heartbreaker and getting to stay in that. But I think South Oak Cliff, that team's got some dudes on it. I think South Oak Cliff wins that game. The next one, so we've done 3. So the next one down the list, Katie Pato. Still don't know how to say it. Pato. Okay, Pato. Katie Pato playing for their first state championship. They take on College Station, Jet Huff and Company. Is this Pato's year to get it done before they jump to 6A, or does Big Bad College Station say not so fast?
I'll take this one first.
Okay.
Man, I love Coach Guy and them Pato Panthers. They are fun to watch. They're big up front. They play that, 3-4 Katie style offense, and they're coming at you. Well, I think College Station's on a mission. They've been there before. They've done it before. They've played some really great talent and some talented teams. I'm gonna go with the Cougars of College Station on this one. I picked them a long time ago, and I'm gonna ride this wave. Hats off to the Pato Panthers for getting there and being a District 10-5A representative. But I'm gonna go with my heart and not my head. And I'm gonna go with College Station.
Good pick, Sean. Good pick. Now I have a question because I got a dilemma right now. If you guys can help me out, if I feel right now.
Okay.
See, do I pick? Since the last game, I went against all you guys. So either I'm gonna win the whole thing with that one, or I'm gonna lose the whole thing with that one.
True.
So from here on out, do I just keep going agreeing with Sean and leave it to that one game to determine the champion of the playoff pick'em, or do I go ahead and just pick and play and just go with my heart?
I think you just play the game, Coach.
Play the game. All right, play the game. I think first of all, the 4 games we've talked about are unbelievable games. It's going to be such an exciting weekend. These 4 games are tremendous.
Yeah.
And this game right here, we all been talking about this for weeks, so this is probably going to be the matchup. College Station, I heard somebody say they think College Station is one of the best football teams they've seen ever. And Katie Patel is rolling. They're rolling. They're playing some great defense. And I haven't seen many people stop them offensively. When their guys are healthy, nobody stops their offense. And so I think it's going to be a great matchup. I enjoyed watching last week College Station play Mansfield Summit. And that was the Mansfield Summit, as athletic as they were. College Station took control early on, and then it just held it and survived for the rest of the game. But I think it's going to be a tremendous game. 2 very well coached teams. Katie, now this is some motivation. Katie High School is down. They lost last week. So now this has got to be, everything is now on Katie Patel to bring it home to the city of Katie. So a little extra on there.
Here comes the stall tactic.
I'm trying.
Stall tactic engaged.
My gut tells me I really want to go with Katie Patel. I really do. I've seen them play several times. They're explosive. But man, I like College Station. I played College Station a few years ago, and I went against Coach Huff and played some great. We had 2 outstanding games with those guys. It came down to the end of both games. So I have so much respect for that program, what they're doing. I have no idea who's going to win this game. I have no clue. No clue. But I'm going to go and I'm going to put down. I'm going to go Katie Patel.
There you go. That's where to step up and make that decision, man.
I've seen no one slow down their offense down. They're all healthy going in that game. That running back is so good. A couple of running backs they have for him. So I'm gonna go with Katie Patel.
Hey, I want Katie Patel to win, but I had to pick College Station. You know what I'm saying? So trust me. Just for Houston, I'm really cheering for Coach Gott and Pato Panthers.
Yeah, for sure.
So I really am.
Yeah. I'm going with Pato. I thought what was most impressive is their running game wasn't that great last week, and they still blew the pants off Flower Bluff with the passing game. I mean, the way that quarterback played and bounced back from a pretty subpar regional final to a state semifinal like that, I thought was very impressive. And if Pato can have that, where College Station can load the box and Pato can get downfield, still run off some time, get some first downs, and get some points off some possessions, I think that's going to be really tough for College Station. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be like something like 17-14, 21-17. It's going to be a classic. It's going to be tremendous. I'm going to go with Pato, though. I think they have I like their defense a little bit better than I like College Station's. I think College Station has probably a more consistent when it comes to balanced offense. And I like Peto's run game better than I do College Station's. I think, and I think they have tons of backs that can throw at you. They threw 3 or 4 different backs at Flower Bluff, and each had success. Now, mind you, it's a different level of competition, but I think they are confident in 3 or 4 guys that can throw you, and that's not even including the quarterback, who can do some things with his legs too as well. He's very underrated in that aspect, CJ Dumas. I'm going with Peto. I just think they have this look of destiny, a team of destiny a little bit, especially after what happened last year for them. And I think Peto gets this win in the Classic.
Josh taking notes.
Yeah,
Man,
that's a sweep.
No, I was literally looking at College Station's schedule. I was looking at Peto's schedule. And I was looking back at College Station's. Then I was looking at stats, and I was going back and forth. Then I looked at the fact that College Station has Jet Huff at quarterback, and he's the coach's son, Steve Huff, and they want to win a state championship together before he graduates. Oh, I need a major stall tactic right now. I need a commercial break so bad. We need to get some commercials for this thing. Man, that College Station team. Like we said, there's so many good games. This College Station Pacer game is going to be so good. This is an explosive. I mean, College Station over the last 2 weeks has won by less than a touchdown. I think it's like 7 points and it's 5 points, and it's been very close. Yeah. Peto has left no doubt who's winning that game. I mean, they have just ran it up on people. I mean, they've scored over 800 points this season. I think their closest playoff game was like 35-12 to Fort Bend Hightower. That's the closest playoff game. Now, granted, you can say like College Station had to go through Denton Ryan and then Mansfield Summit.
Yeah. We can. Yeah, I wouldn't say. Hey, hats off to Flower Bluff for making that far, but I wouldn't say they're on the level of Mansfield Summit.
No, I know. I'm not gonna say that. I mean, I'm not gonna compare those two. Oh man, this is tough because College Station's got the quarterback, they got the running back that's busted off for like 2,500 yards. This is power versus power. This is offense versus offense. It's gonna be who can slow down who. But I said it a couple weeks ago. I feel like this Peto team reminds me of Shadow Creek a couple years ago when they made the run. Peto Panthers win a state championship before going to Class 6A. I think they have just enough to slow down this College Station team. I'm gonna throw out a name. I think the defensive MVP for Peto is gonna be Alex Kilgore at linebacker.
You're not going out on a limb there, Josh.
It's a limb. So I named somebody defensive MVP, and then you're just gonna throw me under the bus.
No, I'm just saying, man.
Of like all the defensive players you could choose, you pick Alex Kilgore. Okay, fine.
The kid's a stud.
He is a stud. He's very good, very good. I'm gonna go Peto. I think their offense they got going. College Station has been there though, so Peto, I think they're gonna have to those nerves are gonna have to come down. They're gonna have to settle them because they can't get down early to this College Station team.
Yeah,
I got a little fun fact if I could throw in there. The only game Peto lost was against Manville, and they had their top running backs were injured, and they scored 28 points. Can you guess the fewest points they've scored in the game outside of that game, and what team they played against? Anybody guess that?
Is it 54?
No.
No, that's not the fewest.
Against. Go ahead. Against.
Well, they scored 35 against Fort Bend Hightower. That was the fewest in the playoffs they've scored.
Well, against our very own Foster Falcons, they scored 30 points.
Ooh.
Early in the year.
Ooh.
Foster held them to 30 points.
30 to 14, right?
Yeah, 30 to 14. Yeah, we lost 30 to 14.
Yeah.
That's right.
You're only 2 schools to beat them in the last 2 years.
Yes.
The Foster Falcons and the Manville Mavericks. So
maybe we should listen to Sean. We should change our picks. So whatever.
I'm ready. Hey, no kidding. I'm ready to be the bride and not the bridesmaid, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why I beat the eventual state champion. So that means they're going to win, whether it's West Orange Star or whoever. You know what I'm saying? So hats off to the Foster Falcons, by God. But hey, we're all rooting for the Panthers, even though I picked against them, man. I really am rooting for the Peto Panthers and North Shore. I want all Houston teams to win. And then I want them to move it back to NRG. right? But
I also believe
that's a
that
different
Foster,
discussion.
that
Yeah.
Foster win, when I talked to Pato and players and coaches afterwards, that was their first signature win, they felt. They had to get over that hump before. Because y'all beat
Against
them, I think,
us?
yeah.
Hmm.
Because y'all
First
beat
time
them in the when they were trying to go for the district. Was it last year or the year before? Last year?
Yeah, 2000 COVID year, 2020. Yeah.
Yeah. At Legacy, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I know. They were like, yeah, that was the game that they felt like that they need to get over that hump to where.
Hey, you need to go watch the first play of that game. That's why they wanted to beat us. That first play. You know what I'm talking about, James?
No.
We should have been on Sports Center on that one.
Uh-oh.
We put everybody on the sideline and we had.
Oh, that's right.
Snap the ball to Cody Jackson. He takes it like 70 to the house. Yeah. A little trick play on the very first play of the game, man.
Really?
We call that play Young Money. And it like
That's right.
Yeah, a trick play on them. So we like disrespected them in their house on the very first play.
That's right. Some swag, man.
It was awesome, man. It was awesome. I'll send it to you, James. I'll send it.
Yeah, let me see that.
Maybe we can play it. Find a clip, play it on here.
Yeah, that was.
They call the play Young Money. Oh goodness. Okay, so fifth game. So we gotta have 5 after that Young Money play.
That's right.
All right. 4A Division 2. We'll just keep going down the list. China Spring takes on Gilmer. China Spring rolling under in Coach Bell's there. Gilmer, last year I think that was the watch along game. I think Gilmer was that? Yeah, did Gilmer win last year? Were they playing Carthage and Carthage blew out Gilmer? I can't remember.
I think
Carthage won.
Yeah, I feel like Carthage blew them out 70-14. So Gilmer's looking for a little revenge this year. So China Spring or Gilmer in 482.
I'm going to go with China Springs. And the reason is because if you look at their playoff run, they beat some top teams. Like they beat 4, I think top 10 schools in the state. They've had a tough road. They beat Carthage. And and the games have not been extreme blowouts. They've won, some good scores, but they've grinded it out. Beat some good teams. I think they'll definitely be battle tested, ready to go. So I'm gonna go with China Springs.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with China Spring as well, only because for the same thing when I was looking at them. I don't know much about Gilmer, other than them making it this way, but I've been following because I know Coach Bell really well and his brother. And just a great coaching family, and so been keeping up with them all season. So fired up for those guys, really excited. So I'm gonna go with China Spring as well.
Yeah, I'm going with China Spring too. I don't really have a good reason other than they beat. Man, I can't remember who they beat last week, but I was impressed when I saw that they won. I know they played in a really tough district. I think I don't know. They're battle tested. I know that. So I'm gonna go with China Spring.
I'm gonna go China Spring as well.
I like it. I was hoping to stall this one. I was gonna see how creative you got on this one.
No. There's no creative. No, I think Brian Bell's head coach Sean Bell played at China Spring. His dad coached there. Sean Bell played there. I mean, it's I think China Spring takes care of business. So there's no stall tactic on that. No stall tactic at all.
Maybe is it Kuro? How you pronounce that last name?
Quero Gobblers.
Yeah,
that's a big one.
There you go. Yeah, you're right.
That's a big win for him. All right, so this is how we're gonna do this part because we're down to the 4As and below. So we need a 6th game, but the way we're gonna do it, because if there's a tie somehow, we got to break it this way. So for the remaining games below, you will pick a game. You will pick the game, and you will pick the winner. But they've got to be different games for everybody.
Okay.
So I'll tell you the games real quick. 4AD1 is Austin Johnson against Stephenville. 3AD2 is Franklin versus Gunter. They're both undefeated. 3AD1 is Brock. They're undefeated. They take on Lorena, who's 13-2. Stratford takes on Falls City in 2AD2. And then if we get really crazy, Hawley takes on Big Bad Shiner. That's a fun 2AD1 game at 7 o'clock on Wednesday. Shiner, which has maybe one of the greatest logos in all of high school football because it's on their helmet.
I agree.
Strawn takes on Matador Motley County if we want to dip down to 6-man football.
I think we
And
won
then-
that.
and then May takes on Westbrook. So let's get a little wild. Everybody picks one. I'll start.
Of course you will.
Of course I will. I'm the leader of pick'em. I'm in last place, so that I get the right to get the first pick.
Fair.
Just like any draft.
Fair.
I'm going to take the 4AD1 game. I think Stephenville wins this game. Stephenville, coached by Sterling Doty, who went to Stephenville, was at Magnolia for a good number of years before going over there. He's an alum of Stephenville. I think Stephenville wins that state championship. So I'm going with Stephenville to beat Austin Johnson. Not that I'll need a tiebreaker because I'm like 4 games back, but just to
You never
take that one off the board.
I think I'll take the Brock game. I think Brock over Lorena, right?
Mhm. Yep.
And so I feel like Brock they're undefeated. Is Brock undefeated? I think they are, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
And so I feel like new coach, probably really excited, got a chance to be there. I'm gonna go, and they've been there before, so I'm gonna go with Brock on that game.
Okay, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna stay in Division 2 like you, Sean, and I'm gonna go with Franklin Gunter game. Gunters, they won the state champion. They played for several state championships recently. They're a very good program. Franklin, I think, is sitting at number 1, and Gunter is number 2 right now. Both of them scoring a lot of points. Both of them, 2 very good teams. I think it's a pretty even match game. So I don't know why I'm picking this one, but
He's going to talk himself out of the pick.
about 2 teams I don't know nothing about. But I do know, I had a friend on the staff of Gunter. He's no longer there now, but they've had a pretty good run for a while now. And so in this one, I'm gonna go with. I don't know much about Franklin. Like I said, I do know they're number 1. They scored a lot of points. Their road to get there has been pretty good. They've blown a lot of people out. I'm gonna go with Gunter just because they've been here before. They played for state championship, I think 2 or 3 times recently in the last few years. So they won it. Was it last year they won it? I'm gonna go with Gunter again, just off experience, just off of being there. I'll go Gunter.
I'm gonna go with Shiner and Hollies, and I'm gonna pick Shiner simply because of Doug Brooks. And that's that.
I like it. I like it.
The human 18-wheeler that Shiner lines up in the backfield.
Yes. The human man-child.
Oh my gosh. The human man-child. Hey, we will those picks are fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It's gonna be a great week of games. Texas high school football is big. It's big state championship week. When Sports Center tweets out a graphic saying best quarterback in Texas high school history, and they've sparked quite a debate on
that is
on social
a
media.
big statement to make.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But they did it as more like a question. They're like best quarterback in Texas high school history, and then they like put a bunch of pictures like Vince Young's on there, Drew Brees is on there, Matthew Stafford's on there, Kyler Murray. They've got Johnny Manziel on here, but he wasn't really big until he got to A&M because he played like at Kerrville Tivy for like 2 years.
Yes.
I'm just mad they don't have Demetrius Davis on this, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm done with this conversation.
Yeah, we that might be another show because
That's a whole nother hour that we would need. We don't have time to.
Because some of them dudes on there weren't great in high school. Like to me, Kyler Murray is a tough one to beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, you don't even just because them dudes having success in the pros don't mean they were the best high school football player. But this dude is having success everywhere he went. You know what I'm saying? So best high school man. I don't know about that. So.
Fun topic to finish on. Best high school quarterback in Texas high school football history. It shows you how big Texas high school football is when they're stirring the pot already on Monday of the state championship. So, all right, well, that'll do it for this week's edition. We will be back next week to crown a champion of the Pick'em and do our last Coach's Corner of the fall. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Catch us every Wednesday at 6 o'clock on VYPE Houston. Have a great week, everyone. Enjoy the state championships.
Got it.